Dad forgets his baby on the train. Passengers couldn't believe what happened next. Science explains that being forgetful is totally normal and can happen to anyone. The human brain can get rid of unnecessary information, and in the process, lapses in memory occur. But while most of us forget simple things such as a grocery list, a friend's phone number, or the name of a song, perhaps most would agree that forgetting a baby inside a train is just completely absurd. Well, one father from Ohio experienced this heart-stopping moment, and the video footage that shows what happened after will make you speechless. Last month, a usually very quiet train station in Cleveland, Ohio experienced chaos when a passenger alerted the driver that there was a child in a carrier who was left on the train unattended. The management staff of the train station was utterly fazed and dubious about what really happened. Fortunately, the surveillance camera had provided them with the answer. On January 12th, a train from the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority was preparing to leave the Windermere station. It wasn't rush hour and there were only a few passengers on board.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story.
At about 10:30, a man carrying a child in a baby basket got on the train. Judging by their bags, it seemed that the father and the baby were going far away. Since the wagon was almost empty except for one other lone passenger, the father put the child's carrier comfortably on the train's seat. He even double-checked if the baby basket would boggle or not. The baby seemed to be in a good mood, so the father sat on the other side while waiting for the train to depart. After a few seconds, another man entered. The father of the baby was patiently waiting for the train to leave the station when the third man quickly stepped out to smoke a cigarette. There was still a few minutes left until the train left, and one cigarette wouldn't take a while. From the open door, the father watched and patiently waited as the other man was enjoying his smoke. It could have seemed he was staring at the man and thinking about whether he should follow the man. For a few seconds, the father of the baby contemplated the idea of going outside to have a quick cigarette too. It must have been hours since he had his last smoke, given he was with his baby. Soon enough, the temptation set in. Giving a quick look at the child, the man quickly stepped outside the train and approached the smoking man. The footage shows the father looking for something below the train seat. He bent down on the floor, possibly looking for his lighter. Failing to find what he was looking for, he decided to borrow a lighter from his fellow passenger. As the train sat idle, the two men enjoyed a quick smoke while chatting. Meanwhile, inside the train, the other passenger sat in front of the seat where the baby was. Perhaps he got lost in the moment, but the father of the baby somehow missed the train's signal that it was about to depart. Even his fellow smoker showed no signs of urgency. The man inside, however, got alarmed when he realized that they were about to leave. He looked at the unattended baby and started banging on the window to catch the driver's attention. Despite the hard banging, the two men outside didn't even bother to look. Either they heard the announcement and totally ignored it, or they didn't process the signal. They were close to finishing their smoke as if thinking there was still enough time to catch the train. Seeing that he had no time left, the man inside the train rushed to the door, but by then it was too late. The door of the train had closed before the concerned passenger even had the chance to shout. The loud sound of the departing train seemed to wake up the two men from their trance. Abruptly, the father of the baby reached for the door. However, there was no way he could open it as it was automatically locked from the inside. The train went on its way. The father tried to bang the door while trying to check his baby from the window. The train was moving slow and he realized he needed to catch the driver's attention. Soon enough, the man could be seen running towards the front of the train while shouting hysterically. However, the driver didn't notice. The bewildered father ran as fast as he could while banging the side of the train. Despite the roaring engine, he desperately tried to get the attention of the driver. Some witnesses who didn't understand what happened got nervous as the man seemed to chase the train blindly. However, his instant reaction was entirely understandable for the passenger who knew what happened a moment earlier. The passenger who tried to warn the baby's father that the train was about to leave was feeling pitiful. The father was clearly at the height of his panic. He saw him desperately shouting until he could no longer be seen. Being alone with a baby in the wagon, the passenger tried to seek help. After checking that the baby was safe and sound in the carrier, he tried to look for help. Another fellow passenger helped him reach the train operator. They reported that there was an unaccompanied baby on board. They also added that the baby's father was left by accident at the Windermere station. Fortunately, the operations staff quickly responded upon hearing the concerned passenger's report. The train was headed to Superior Station, which was only a minute away. The person in charge ensured the concerned individual the train would return. In the meantime, he was asked to look after the baby to ensure that nothing would happen while they were implementing the protocol. The GCRTA's operation department coordinated with the transit police to ensure that all the necessary precautions were observed in order for the train to return safely. It didn't even reach the next station as the order to return was firm. Meanwhile, a member of staff at the station approached the frantic father to ensure that everything would be fine. For the father, that 1 minute felt like an eternity. When he saw the train returning to the station, he was extremely relieved. He hugged his baby as if the child had been gone for a long time. When the father finally realized the authorities were all looking at them, he desperately tried to explain himself. Somehow he knew that he couldn't get away with what happened so easily. After the heartwarming reunion, the authorities waited for the father to calm down. They needed his official statement for their report. The train schedules were affected and there was a lot to explain. The incident was quickly taken under control. However, the driver of the train was later coached for failing to follow the standard communication procedure. The father didn't escape scrutiny either. When the security footage was released, the father of the baby was heavily criticized. Despite his dramatic chase, most people couldn't believe that he would actually leave a baby inside a train to smoke a cigarette. He was lucky enough that the train station had its own set of safety measures and protocol that saved his child from imminent danger. The father's decision to leave the baby for a while to take a quick smoke created a buzz in social media for days following the event. Positive comments were crediting him for the dramatic chase. Unfortunately, most people blamed him for being so careless. Others could only hope that what happened to him will inspire him to quit smoking for good.